everybody, it's VerticalSandwich. Welcome back to Let's Play Shadow of the Colossus. This is post-commentary. This is stuff that happened to me, like grabbing onto this fish on my way to one of the Colossuses where you have to swim. I saw a fish, I hit the grab button, and suddenly a fish was pulling me along. These are things that happened to me in subsequent playthroughs. I think I played through the game over 3 times to get the kind of grip bar you would need to finish out the bonus content. Because for the PS3 version, you actually have to do that. There's a way to cheat it in the PS2 version that did not carry over. They fixed it. So, yep, hanging on to fish as they swim. That's what we're doing. Just hanging on to a fish. Hanging on to fish is not hard. It's very easy. Just hold down the trigger button or whatever. I want to say right trigger, but I haven't played this game in a long time. We're just cleaning up. So after this video is about 10 minutes long. It's just some miscellaneous stuff I learned in my subsequent playthroughs. And after this, there'll be 2 videos. So that are live commentary, actually. And that's climbing the temple. So, in one of my playthroughs, I was extra careful to hit every one, to save every one of the shrines. And so this will be the last one. It'll get us the trophy for saving all of them, and then I'll show you the map with all of them on it. There are 24. This, I want to say, this might have been playthrough 3, but it could also have been. You need a way bigger grip bar than even I have here. And really, playing through the game is the fastest way to do it. My time for playing through the entire game got to about 6 hours. If not less than that. It got really ridiculous how quickly I could kill these things. Especially since the damage you do to a Colossus is based on how hard you can drive your sword in. And that is based on your grip bar. So, my last playthrough, I one-shotted a couple of the Colossuses. Just like one stab in the second Colossus' head and he's dead. Some of them you can't do that with, but I did do quite a few. I got very good at quite a few one cycles, you would call them, where the Colossus never resets his attack pattern. You just like knock him down and then, you know, take care of both of his symbols or whatever. I did it once to the flying guy with the 3 under the fins. Although the swimming, the first class, the swimming one with the electric spikes, he did not get easier. He got harder like every time I played him. I don't know what it was about him. I also learned there is a trophy for doing all the acrobatics on aggro, and there's a bunch of them. But one of the ones I did learn was how to stand up on him. I don't know how handy that is personally. At this point, I also learned that you don't drive aggro. You let aggro drive himself. You just point him in a general direction and then hold down the button, and aggro will do what he needs to do. I also learned that there's a forest over here, right about where I'm headed, that will shortcut you to that desert on the other side of the world. I desperately needed that information in my first 3 playthroughs, and I found it, I think, on the 4th one. It was, or maybe I needed it on the first 2 and found it on the 3rd. But yeah, instead of going all the way around, you can go straight past. There's like a save point over here, and you just, one of the exits just takes you to the edge of that desert, so you can cut all the way through this mountain range that separates the world. It's huge information. So there we go, standing on aggro. Like I said, there's weird stuff you can do as far as the problem with standing on aggro or any of those kind of like mechanics for doing acrobatics, they involve you holding extra buttons while you're, you know, and for me, holding one button and using an analog stick is not hard. For me, holding, you know, multiple buttons and still operating the analog stick can be a little trickier. Now, if you're a kid who grew up with first-person shooters, then that's probably not so hard. You can probably hold down, you know, and manipulate 6 buttons at once, but not me. Now, we didn't get the trophy for all the acrobatics, so Alright, so, like, the last thing we had to do, the last thing I wanted to take care of was riding the hawk. So here we go. This is where the sandworm Colossus is. Which is, it's funny because I'm reading Dune right now. Although the worms in that are far bigger than this one was. These mouths that are 80 meters wide. Jeez, that's the description in the book. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
But it's a page turner if you're interested. You should.
Yeah.
If you like sci-fi, it's great. It's fantastic. So, yeah, we go out this side of the cave, and there's this series of cliffs. And this is where we want to catch a hawk and ride it. There's actually one specific place that a hawk cycles through that makes this very easy. Well, easier. I mean, it's easier than grabbing the ones we grabbed during the playthrough. So one of the things you want to look for is this, like, giant tree and stuff above the cave mouth. And then, yeah, you can see the landscape. It's fallen, but it's not the kind of thing that'll kill you.
Yeah.
And then there's this rock over to the left, and we're going to go over there and stand on the rock and wait for a bird. And we're going to grab it, we're going to ride it. You see that bird? That bird is cyclical. That bird will fly through, go back, swoop over that rock, and give you an opportunity to grab him. And that's what we want. And then after this, you'll see, like, the funniest failed suicide attempt ever. Like, where I jumped off a cliff, fell, landed, jumped off another cliff, fell, and landed, and then jumped off a third cliff and died. Yeah, you can stand on your horse right here. It's not a horrible idea, but I didn't have any trouble getting it by standing on the rock. And I would certainly suggest that standing on the rock is a better idea. This would really, I mean, this is a jerk thing to do to your horse. Like, it really is. Like, it's far easier. Yeah, you could just imagine how much harder it's got to be on the horse's back to have all of your weight on the pads of your feet rather than across the whole length of, you know, your thighs and stuff. It's just garbage. So yeah, see the bird comes, it, like, loads itself up, gets ready to swoop. And it comes across here like the good little bird it is. And we're nowhere near it, and I realized that, and I'm depressed. So, yeah, I was like, I'll give him the rock. The rock will do the thing I want it to do. That tree is cool, by the way. I really like that tree. I've been thinking that that tree was somewhere else this entire game, by the way. The whole time I was playing the game, I thought that tree was up in the upper left-hand corner of the map. A tree that looked like that would have to be so old. I mean, it really would. Unless this world has different, you know, chemical and physical laws than ours does, and, you know, that tree's 3 years old or something. But it's the kind of thing when you see, like, 2,000-year-old trees that people are talking about in scientific papers, they look like that. Which is a wonderful and magical thing about our world, by the way, that trees can live that long. Alright, so here's our hawk. That we're gonna ride. He will drop us off eventually. He's not Super Hawk. He's just a hawk. All right, and that got us our trophy. So now I'm done. So it's time to kill ourselves. Oh. Okay, we'll take 2. I regret nothing! Except my choice of jumping spot. Alright. So when we come back, a live commentary on climbing the temple. Oh man, that's one more failure than I expected. Live commentary on climbing the temple. I will see you guys for that stuff. And thanks for watching.